I wanted to take some time to hear from you and answer questions you might have on IT fundamentals or computer literacy. So that's why we put together these Ask Me Anything episodes. My friend Aaron is going to ask questions about stuff in this chapter from viewers like you. I also want to hear from you as well. My email is at the end of the episode. Ask me anything.
Jennifer from Columbus, Ohio asks, is there a software I can use to store my passwords?
Yes, there are several different types of commercial software out there that will enable you to store passwords for all kinds of things. One of the biggest is from Apple called Keychain.
Yeah.
And Keychain will store your passwords to your iOS devices, to Apple products, to other products as well. Most web browsers also will store passwords, which is incredibly convenient because, you know, when you're logging into accounts on Amazon, on Google, on all these different websites, there's too many passwords, right? And names to remember. So the browser will store all that information for you, so you don't have to retype it every time.
Okay. And is that safe to keep all of your passwords safe?
That's a good question, Aaron. Yes, it's safe, right? As long as you're the only user of that computer, right? And you're there and you're logged in and all that stuff, it's perfectly safe.
Okay.
Where it becomes not safe is if you have multiple users of that computer.
Right.
Right? To make sure that other users don't have access to your passwords and your websites and who you are, essentially, as far as the internet is concerned, you need to log off.
Always log out.
Right. Log off, log out when you walk away from your computer.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Right? Right.
And Katie from Houston, Texas says, my laptop was stolen from my car last week. How can I get back my licenses?
Ooh, that's a tough one. It depends, right? It depends on how you acquired your software. If you have things like Microsoft Office 365 that requires a subscription with Microsoft, you just go to another computer, log into your account on Microsoft, and deactivate the software that was on the stolen machine.
Okay.
Right? This works. You can do this on most Apple products too, for that matter, and like big programs like the Adobe Creative Suite.
Great.
Right?
Okay.
If, on the other hand, you bought commercial software that you installed from a disk or something like that, you're probably out of luck.
Uh-oh.
Luckily, most software these days comes from downloads, and you might be able to just download and reinstall using the same information, login information.
Okay.
Okay?
Good to know. Michael from Anaheim, California wants to know, can I set up my own lockout timeout options?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. This is true in Windows, in Mac OS, in Linux for that matter. Every device, whether it's a desktop computer, a laptop, or a handheld device, has a certain logout time by default.
Okay.
Right? But you can go into settings, which is pretty much the universal name for the app in all of these different devices, and just change the logout time.
Okay.
In fact, for example, on this tablet, because it's a mobile device, on a battery, it has a certain, like a 2 minutes, and then it'll log off, right?
Yep, like
just
the phone.
Yeah,
everything.
just to save battery life. Because you're sitting here with this device in your hand for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, however long we run, we didn't want it to turn off.
So you changed.
So we changed the timer on there.
Options.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for that.
Excellent.
Does get annoying. AJ from Milwaukee asked, what is local encryption and why would I ever need to use it?
Wow, great question, AJ. Let's talk about encryption first.
Okay.
Encryption is where we take a file or folder and transform it in a way that unless you have the proper de-encryption key, you can't read that file or folder information.
Nice.
Okay? We use this all the time. We use it in wireless communication, for example, when we're making connections over your mobile device. Those connections are encrypted. When you log into Amazon and make purchases, that information is also encrypted.
Good.
Right? Yes, it's great. Otherwise, people could get a hold of your stuff.
Yeah.
Local encryption is different. Both Windows and Mac OS enables you to do local encryption by just like a right click and say encrypt this file or folder.
Oh.
what that does in effect is for the user, whoever's logged in and encrypts that file, it acts and smells like a normal file. You can open it, you can modify it, you can save it, right? Where it becomes incredibly powerful is when you have a shared computer. The other users, once you're logged off, they log in, they might be able to see the file name or folder name, but they won't have any access to the contents of that file or folder. Windows will simply laugh at them.
How tricky.
Right? And this is also incredibly important with laptops. Because what happens if you're at a cafe and you walk away or your laptop gets stolen?
Yes.
Right? A technical user, a tech, can rip the hard drive out of that laptop, plug it into another system, and have access to all the files and folders in that laptop.
I don't want that.
Right. But if you've locally encrypted, the thief will not have access to the things that are encrypted.
Okay. So
Just sweet.
encrypt your stuff.
Encrypt your stuff. But this also means that if you lose your password or you need to create a new account or something like that, you won't have access to those encrypted files. So be careful with it. Use it on things that are very important.
Okay.
Okay?
I understand. And that's all we have for Chapter 11. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Erin, and thank you. My email should be scrolling along the screen here any second now. Ask me anything.